Thank you, my friend. Thank you, dear Nobel laureate Tawakkol. Thank you for being here and inspiring these youth.
Thank you.
We'll have about 15 minutes now for a little conversation. That conversation is also inspired by what I briefly mentioned before her address, namely the Partners in Peace program. There will be a QR code coming up. I'm very proud of having been able to make that QR code. Please use it. I had some help from my daughter, admittedly, but we made it, Kevin. And it's a program that's inspired by what several colleges have done, which is really in line with what you talk about, namely use these ideals of human rights, human dignity, freedom, expressed by the Nobel Peace Prize, to create curricula and courses built up around that. It's partly inspired by something that we've done together, Westchester University previously. They still continue doing that, but also so many schools in this room. And it's one of the reasons why we're so proud to have you here. So let me ask you, what has the Nobel Peace Prize meant to you as you work on this? Is it an important tool in our world to draw attention to the exact questions you are talking about?
Of course. Of course. It's for me, it gave me the international stage. That is very important. Before Nobel Prize, I was a leader in my country, talking with people in Yemen, convincing people of Yemen and leading Yemen in the peaceful revolution. And I have a lot of partnership around the world. But to talk to the world directly, to convince them on the noble values that we fight, it came from the stage of Nobel Peace Prize. That is very important. And also other thing, it gave me a lot of also responsibility. A lot of responsibility, because people think with Nobel Prize that you can solve all the problem. It's a magic that you do everything. While I believe that I can do a lot of things. So I'm doing all my effort to help people as they expected from me. This is one of the things that Nobel Peace Prize gave me. And one of the things that I didn't like from Nobel Prize is that people think when I won Nobel Peace Prize that I will be calm. And I will not criticize so I will be wise, speak like people, like, so I said, no, Tawakkol, you know her in the battlefield, in the Freedom Square, singing, standing, chanting against, the dictator, is the same Tawakkol when she won Nobel Peace Prize. But before, it was one dictator, Ali Abdullah Saleh, and now it's the dictators in the world. So
you take them on.
Yeah, the dictators. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I am the nightmare of dictators around the world.
Well,
and this is my advice to every young people, to everyone: be the nightmare of the dictator. Be the nightmare. Don't make them sleep. Really, and you can do it. Believe me.
As everyone who knows her knows, and as her children say, and it's wonderful to have your son here, they want you to be a bit crazy. So as Paul Simon said, still crazy after all these years. Very good. But of course, we are also talking about things that are really difficult. So alongside the strong talk against dictators, I guess we also have to listen to each other, which is also a key part of your message. When we talk about really different things, difficult things like the Middle East, how do we manage to stay engaged and at the same time be listening and try to learn from each other? Can we do both at the same time?
Yes. People in Middle East listen to each other. It is not the image that they fight. They only fight dictators and occupation. That's it. Yes, there is another civil war between some sectors, some militias, but those are the tools that used by dictators. They use them to divide the society. They use them to portray revolution and the outcome of the revolution as the failure. They said, look, what happened of Arab Spring? Look, people are fighting each other. There is civil war. There is terrorism. There is military coup. No, this is not the outcome of Arab Spring. No, it is the outcome of counter-revolution. It is the failure of counter who produced these things to give a lesson to their people, to not thinking again to make revolution, and to convince the West, look, what is the alternative? If you support people who fight freedom, look what is it? It is, the extremists, is the terrorism, is the civil war. But people in Arab Spring countries and Arab countries didn't take the lesson in this way. They take it in another way. And you remember we met in Oslo in 2019, and they told me, same question. I told them, no, we didn't fail. We are still in the revolution. We are one nation against the dictatorship, against terrorism, against occupation. We are one people that want freedom, democracy, and rule of law in our countries, and we are still in the revolution. And that was in 2019, while the revolution was in Yemen, in Syria at that time, Egypt, Tunis, and Lebanon. And after that, what happened? Algeria revolt, Sudan revolt. And now, after Syrian people thought that there is no way that Syrian people will be able to topple the dictator Bashar al-Assad. Syrian people won in the revolution. So we still in that battle, and again, I will repeat that every day. You are here in America, you take hundreds years to reach to the democracy, and now you talk from us in Arab region to, when we make revolution against dictator, to have democracy at the same day, at the same year. What is that? Insane. What is that? So no, we deserve democracy, and we will achieve it, and we are in the really inside, inside we didn't finish it. It didn't finish yet. You will see another revolution coming. But look, what is the obstacle that is happening in Egypt, in Middle East? There is mistakes. We admit there is mistakes we made it in the transitional period by the leaders of the revolution. We admit that, but it's mistakes. It's just mistakes on running the transitional power, and we can make it that in another lecture. I don't know why, but we have to discuss that. But there is crimes that happened. Crimes happened by two main powers. First, the regional powers who led the counter-revolution, which is Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and Iran. Those three countries doesn't want Arab people or Arab Spring countries to be a democrat. And they are afraid from democracy itself, and they want to punish the people, and they really succeeded in punishing people, but they failed on stopping people. They waged the wars, they waged terrorism, they waged military wars, etc. And the other thing, it is the complicity and betrayal from the international community and from Western countries itself, from those countries who claim that they are democrats.
So you are saying two things now. First, you are saying that the Arab Spring is not lost.
No,
that these ideals still...
No, we're still in the battle for freedom. We are still young. We are like baby growing. So, and we are now there's many revolutions will come, and the revolutions that succeeded in the first step. It was just first step, which is force the dictator to leave. And there is another step. We are in the first step. We succeeded somehow in the transitional period. Then the counter revolution waged and took the power. Now, why do you blame us? Blame the counter-revolution who waged the wars. Why do you blame us? So, yes, this is what I said. And other thing is, without the counter-revolution of Saudi Arabia and Emirates and Iran, the Arab Spring will really be able to succeed in that period. But we will succeed in that period. But who helped them? Who helped them is United States, is Britain, is the Western countries, and here I am pointing on the democratic countries, not Russia, not China, because they already authoritarian regimes. We are against them, and we encourage people to make a revolution against them. But democratic countries who make alliance with dictators and with counter-revolution, who betray us and who supported the military coup in Egypt, for example, who supported Haftar in Libya, for example, who supported Saudi and Emirates in Yemen, for example, in their war, who supported Houthi militia in other, step of the coup. So they are, we have to blame them. We have to blame them and to tell them stop betraying the democracy and the human rights. But when we blame them, we didn't blame them and cry. We are working and struggling in the land, continuing our struggle and for freedom. And absolutely, we will win that battle as Syrian people win that battle.
These are, of course, extremely complex political issues, as you know more than most. But you are saying that these are also ideals that we really share. Because there are those who say that we have a clash between civilizations. These are things that we cannot collaborate on. But you say that if we are to fight racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim prejudice, all of these things, which are really important issues for all of us, because a lot of people around the world are afraid. They are being hunted, even in democratic societies, for their ethnicity or whoever they are. These are things that we fight together. So I'd like to ask you, what advice do you have to these students who are sitting here on how they can work for these ideals in their everyday lives? I mean, you touched on this in your address, what they do academically, but how in our everyday lives, as we meet each other, as we sometimes quarrel, how can we translate these ideals?
First, I really trust them a lot. And I am confident that the current hatred wave, those young people will erase it. I believe in it, because those people, when you watch to their stories in the social media, they are something else than we heard, in any other place. So I tell you that you are the strongest generation during the history. The strongest. You have the tools, you have the technology, you have the AI. While yes, AI has a lot of shortages, but it's also a power. You can use it in a positive way or in a negative way. So you have a tools in this age, and you have the wise, and you have the you have the courage, the brave to do better. So I'm really I see the wave of dictatorism, the rising of dictatorism, the wave of hatred, of racism. But I'm really depending on them because I saw it. Yeah. I really saw it. I don't just imagine. I saw it in a desperate society in my country. People advised me to stop that fighting because I will die alone. They told me, stop your fight. Nobody will listen to you. But when I go to the Sana'a University, they listen to me, and we together step down the dictator. And the same thing now. We are together against Houthi militia, against Saudi and Emirates interfering, against foreigners interfering in our countries. And they are the people. I saw that, by the way. I'm following some of the programs here in the US. I saw how some of the conservative people even shifting their language. They searching for the knowledge. They knew. They said, no, we were wrong, and we have to do something better. So this is you. Yeah. People, you have to do your effort to convict, to convince. Yeah. Sorry for my English, by the way.
No, it's excellent.
Are you tired with my English?
It's
so it's believe in people, by the way. It's very important to believe in people. Believe in yourself first, that you can convince them.
You hear this message?
Believe in people. Don't think that you are alone, because you will start alone and you will end with millions of people around you. So believe
Thank you.
in people who is with you, sharing the same ideas, and believe in people who are different than you. But you have to make effort to love them, to convince them, and don't give up, to their, bad ideas. Convince them to be with you. And remember, don't let anyone to divide you. Anyone to divide you.
This Nobel laureate here is telling you that you are the generation
Yes, they
that
are.
has the opportunity, whether you call yourself conservative, liberal, whether you're Jew or Christian or a Muslim of some other faith, we stand together in this. We will continue this conversation, not least generally through the Partners in Peace program, and we are so proud to have you as one of our supporters. More immediately, we will actually continue with a workshop, which is in something called Sapphire P. P as in peace. That's pretty good. We asked for that room. Tawakkol will join us there as well. But most of all, I'd like to say thank you to you for coming here. You've risen to the occasion.
Thank you. Thank you.